What's going on, everybody? It's Mel here, Darkside of the Grill. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of whatever it is we're doing here. Make sure you click subscribe. Make sure you hit the little bell. Appreciate it all the time. Today we're talking about something actually very near and dear to my heart and absolutely deadly. Alberta beef. Look at this beautiful rib. Look at this beautiful whole primal rib. You know what we're going to do with this today? Well, we're going to dry age it. That's it. I'm going to show you my own secret little this and that's to dry aging beef. Let me tell you why you need to know how to dry age beef. You buy it like this, you get it a lot cheaper. I'm going to show you how I prep it, how I set it up in my meat fridge. When I'm done with this, we go 28 days, we go 45 days, we go 60 days, you can go 200 and something days. Like Lennox from the Fire Door, right? Everything is perfectly aged. Definitely enhances the flavor, brings out the meat, the flavor of the beef, the color. It gets that beautiful deep red. It's amazing, and it's super cost effective too. That's always in my best interest to get cost effective. This way I get 2 loony thick steaks for a fraction of what they'd be worth, and aged. You have to pay for aging, you have to pay for the real estate in the butcher's cooler, when it's hung, whatever. Now you can do it at home. There's some safety regulations and stuff like that that we're going to get into while we're doing that. Your most important thing that you need to know when you're aging beef, you need a dedicated cooler of some kind. Whether it be a beer fridge, which is very tight and hard to maintain. I have a full-size fridge that I use for this. I keep it at 2 degrees Celsius. 2 degrees Celsius bang on, and my humidity is roughly 80-85% for humidity. It stays, so I don't need a fan. I've got a sensor for both, and it's always locked in there. If I pile it, I know I'm pushing it, then I'll know to pull some out, whatever. You have to gauge it, but it's super important it doesn't go above 4 degrees Celsius or it'll spoil, and you can't go over 85. 90, you're really pushing it, you're going to get some mold problems and stuff, and then you get into safety, which I'm not signing off on. This is how I do. This is all up to you what you do. That being said, I have a full-size fridge that I dedicate to meat. I don't put beer in there. I don't have my buddies opening the door every 20 minutes. This stuff goes in here, it sits in there for months. And I rotate them, I age them, I date them, I keep track of them. This is how I like to do it. So, right now, let's get started. This guy came right from the store. There she is. She's still got the fat cap on there. Right in the cryo. That's how I like to get them, right in the cryo. Let's get started. I'm all about the primal cuts. Absolutely love them. That way you can also cut your steaks the way you like. That's a big one for me. I like monster steaks. I like pretty much a roast. Every time people are like, what, that's not a steak, Mel, that's a roast. I said, no, that's a Mel steak. That's how Mel likes to do it. It's a Mel steak. So right away, blood. Blood, blood, blood. You want to keep wiping down, getting rid of all of this fluid. Now, you're not going to trim the fat cap. I know you got excited when you saw the knives. I'm actually not going to be doing much prep with these at all. My big thing right now, is just getting the moisture off it. Getting the moisture off. And if you have any weird hanging parts, jibbly bits, you know how they are. We're going to want to get rid of those at the time, because that will want to mold in those flaps. We want this pretty streamlined, right? Now they come from the packers actually in pretty good shape already, so I'm not too concerned about it. The reason why you leave the fat and the silver skin on, well, you're going to be trimming that down when you finally finish aging it to the day that you have in your head, the day you want to pull it. You'll end up cutting a good 1/8 to 1/4 inch off of this whole thing. It's going to lose a ton of weight when it dries out as well. That's another side effect of aging. Dry aging is gonna pull a lot of moisture out. That's the whole process of dry aging, is pulling the moisture out of the meat so that you get a richer, tastier steak. There we go. Now this guy, like I said, there's not much to it. You pull it out, just make sure there's no gashes. If there's a big gash, that's pretty much what we're looking for. There's a big gash in here somewhere, but we're going to want to address that right now. Trim that out. You get rid of that snot kind of mucusy stuff, and there we go. Now it's up to you how you set these up in your rack. Some people like to set them up just like this, right? This is going to change the way it sits, the way the air gets around it. It's also going to give you a rounder steak. This is, as it ages, it's going to take the form that you're getting it to sit in. That's a big bonus here, so I will show you in a minute once I get this guy prepped up. Now it's up to you also on how you like to set them. You want to set them up on a drying rack of some kind. I always set them up on these cooling racks. I love the cooling racks. If you have bare fridge racks, you could set them right on those as well. Just make sure you're sanitizing them, keeping them clean. So simple. So simple this is. And definitely, if you have any questions about this, drop it in the comments. Always love your guys' banter, so feel free. Any questions you got for me, I'm always here to answer them. The whole point of this is to get you guys eating better food. Get you eating better meat. And if you've never tried Alberta beef, the next time you're anywhere that sells beef, that's what you want to ask for. Hey, you got any Alberta beef? Huge supporter of Alberta beef. Not just because I live here, but also because it's awesome. Which it is. Go around one more time. Isn't that beautiful? Just huge hunks of meat. So if you play your cards right, I'll show you just the quick dynamics here. If you play your cards right, what I would like to see with this thing, these big beautiful bones, so that's one steak there, one steak there, one steak there, so you get 3 steaks, then you get a beautiful 4-bone rib roast. That's a huge rib roast right there. Now you think of the price of that, a 4-bone dry aged rib roast. Say we're going 48 days. Imagine the price of that. That was already the price of this whole thing right off the bat. But now you've got 4 2-inch thick steaks to add to that. Talk about value, huh? Can't help that. And then you also get to say you dry aged it yourself. There we go, look at that. That's how I like it right there, sitting proud like that. Isn't that gorgeous? Just beautiful. You gotta love your meat. You gotta take time and pride in what you're doing, for sure. This definitely helps you to be proud of what you're cooking, helps your family to be proud of the chef that's cooking it. Now, hang tight for 2 seconds. I'm gonna grab the other one just to show you what's what here. Now this guy's been going for about 10 days. 10 days now. This is a 4-bone rib roast, a monster. Straight thing, same thing. Exact same as that I cut just to do a 4-bone. Now I'll flip her over. There you go. Beautiful 4-bone, just like I explained. Take a look at the side here. Look at how she's coloring up. Nice and stiff. Hey, she's aging just perfectly. Just perfectly. Very, very good skin on that. You can feel it. See how the whole thing moves? Because it's solid. It's absolutely solid. And like I said, 10 days. This one, she's gonna go 50 days. This is gonna be for my mother. A beautiful roast for my mother. Prime rib, 50-day aged, in-house. It's deadly. It's absolutely deadly. I'm gonna post up another video when these guys get close to it. I'm gonna show you how I like to trim them, trim the meat. We're gonna save the trimmings for beef broth, dry aged beef broth. Get out of here, it's gonna be fantastic. And yeah, I'll post up a video when I do this one too. I'm gonna post up videos of everything, so make sure you're clicking subscribe, people. Make sure you're clicking subscribe, you don't wanna miss any of this. Dry aged beef, the Mel way.